Odds are, if you're watching this video, you've seen fellow YouTuber JRose11's video on the top 10 worst Pokemon to do one of these solo runs with in a Gen 1 game. Two of the Pokemon in the video, Zubat and Weedle, are two videos I've already done. I don't like to consider myself a visionary ahead of the curve, but sometimes... Nah, I'm just being goofy. But another Pokemon on that list was Abra, and Abra has been suggested on the channel, so I thought, why not? And in case you're incapable of reading, Abra is the focus of our video today. The main reason Abra is so difficult is because of its moves. Or I guess I should say move, because Teleport is the only move Abra is capable of learning on its own. This means it can't deal damage, and so Struggle is the only way to inflict damage on any opposing Pokemon. Even Magikarp can learn Tackle, and Flail in later generations. But Abra isn't the most useless, however, because of its TM move pool. It's not outstanding, but Psychic is learnable, so once we get that move, it should be smooth sailing. Abra's stats are something else. Health, attack, and defense are garbage. Any physical attacks from enemies could be potentially fatal. But Abra's speed and special are outstanding. Since it's Gen 1, our special covers attack and defense, so special attacks won't be too damaging, and our high speed will make critical hits very likely to happen. Let's go over the rules for the run. I will only be using an Abra in battle. HM users will be caught, but they will not be used in battle. I will not be using any items in battle either. This includes potions, X items, and others. They can be used outside of battle, however. And finally, I will not be evolving Abra in the run. And in this run, unlike others I've done recently, that's not a joke. If you watched the Quillfish video and wondered why I said I wouldn't be evolving Quillfish, I decided to do this run in yellow instead of red and blue for only one reason, to just switch it up. I like rotating between the games, and there's one specific part that could make this run easier or harder depending on how you look at it. I named my rival Lassie, per the suggestion from my friend McLovin. That will make sense in just a minute. That name will make sense in just a minute. I used the Pokemon randomizer to replace the Pikachu that you'd normally get with our dear, beloved, near-useless Abra. Abra was given the name Sean. It's a psychic type after all. Still don't get the reference? Well, just look up the show Psych and you'll get it. And here was the roughest and most annoying part of the run. We lost the first battle to Lassie. The odds of his Eevee missing every single attack so we could blow through 20 teleports are... well, I don't know what the odds are exactly, but they've got to be astronomical. And because we've lost this battle, Lassie's Eevee will evolve into Vaporeon. Depending on whether or not you win or lose this battle, or even participate in the optional rival battle, determines what his Eevee will evolve into, in case you didn't know. But there's no way to win that battle, and so we begin the literal struggle to get past the first gym. There are no TMs available until after you beat Brock, so we literally have to struggle past him and everything before him. It was easy to run out of teleports, but my struggle gets its power from my attack stat, so it's incredibly weak. I had to go up to Viridian Forest because the Caterpie and Metapod were the only things that couldn't take me out at this low level. I used a potion to make sure I didn't lose all that hard work, and only 2 battles let me level up to 6. But this just showed me how long and drawn out of a process this whole thing was going to take. After a good little while, I decided to take on Lassie in the optional battle at level 12. His level 9 Spearow went down in a few struggles, but I had so little health left over from taking damage from Spearow and recoil damage that Eevee just couldn't be beaten. I tried it again immediately and got 2 crits on Spearow, leaving me with much more health. Spearow just used Leer on me, and Eevee used Sand Attack, causing me to miss 1 attack. Had I not missed this 1 attack, I definitely would have beaten Lassie right here. That was definitely a best case scenario though, supreme RNG, so I bumped up to level 14. I know I'm going to need to be way stronger for the battle with Brock anyways, so I figured it wouldn't hurt. Spearow now went down in 2 hits, and missed its Leer on me, so I had untainted stats going into Eevee. I got a crit on Eevee, it hit a Sand Attack, I didn't miss, Eevee missed its Tail Whip, and Eevee got struggled into the ground. Jeez. After reaching level 16, I thought I'd see how tough the trainer in the gym was. And Diglett has garbage defense because I took it out in 2 non-crit hits. Sandshrew's defense was a little better than Diglett's, and had it missed a scratch or 2, I might have gotten the win here. I tried this battle again at level 18 and won with literally 1 HP left. That was intense. I tried taking on Brock at this level just to see how things went. And here's the part of the game I mentioned earlier where you may have an easier or tougher time depending on what version of Gen 1 you're playing. In Red and Blue, Brock's team is at level 12 and 14. They're only at 10 and 12 in Yellow, so you'd think Yellow is the choice for an easier game. That would be the case, but in Red and Blue, Geodude has Tackle and Defense Curl. In Yellow, it only has Tackle. This means you could hypothetically take no damage from Geodude in Red and Blue by him using Defense Curl every single attack, whereas in Yellow, he will always use Tackle. Yes, Tackle could miss in Yellow, and if you really want to get into it, Defense Curl could make it where you end up taking more recoil damage in Red and Blue, but I think this 2-level difference doesn't make a huge difference in the long run. Anyways, let's talk about me actually battle Brock rather than some hypothetical scenario. At level 20, I almost made it past Geodude. With Onix still to deal with, I had a long way to go. At level 22, I finally made it past Geodude, but had 9 HP left to deal with Onix. This wasn't going to happen either. Level 24 got me to where Onix had less than half of its health. On one particular attempt, I got 3 crits, all on Geodude. I had way more than half of my health left, and hit Onix with a crit on the very first turn. Then it used Bind, which locked me in place because it's Gen 1. It used Screech, lowering my defense, but not attacking. Then it missed a Screech. Then came Bide. I had to take it out right here or else I was done. I got Onix down to at least 1 HP, but that was when his Bide came off and ended Sean. I jumped up 1 level and took on Brock a few more times. At the very end, I got a crit on Geodude, then a non-crit, and it hit me with a crit tackle. I took Geodude out with a massive critical hit, and I'd kinda dismissed this run in my head, but I kept going just in case. Onix missed Screech, used Bide, hit me with a massive hit. I kept struggling, and it used Screech again, and missed again. It hit Tackle, I used Struggle. It used Bide, but this time, in those few turns where it was storing energy, I finally struggled past the giant rock snake. I'm on the 3rd page of my script right now. Normally, I'm at least to Erica or Koga by this point of the script. This just shows how long this part of the game took. I got the TM for Bide, and it's not the best by any means, but it meant that I didn't have to use Struggle only. Although I did find a Metapod in Viridian Forest to waste all the teleports on, so that I could literally struggle through a few trainers. In Mount Moon, I avoided all the trainers for the first bit, and got a specific item that made the rest of the run miles easier. Abra can learn the TM for Mega Punch. This is a normal move, but so is Struggle, and we can just go straight into attacking now without having to get rid of teleports and bides. My level advantage didn't hurt that much either. At the end of the cave, I took on Jesse and James. When I get Psychic, these goons won't be any issue at all, and here, they already were no threat. Lassie's battle in Cerulean was nothing. With my level advantage and having a consistent attacking move, I mopped up his entire team. The only thing that could have done me in was Mega Punch's low accuracy. I missed it more times than I hit in that battle, it seemed. I was still at a good level in the Misty battle, and Mega Punched through. Staryu took 2 hits though, so it wasn't a complete pushover. 3 hits on Starmie took it out, so yeah, again, it wasn't a complete pushover of a battle, but it really was. I grabbed the next TM we were going to need on the SSN, which was Body Slam. It has 5 more power than Mega Punch, and has 100% accuracy, with a chance to paralyze. Even with a mediocre attack stat, that's a major move. The battle with Lassie on the boat, now with Body Slam, was even easier. I took 8 damage through the entire battle. That's it. Because this is yellow, Surge's team only had Raichu, and I was only at an 8 level advantage. I got hit with a growl, and even paralyzed Raichu, but lost the battle because I was low on health at the beginning. The Raichu hits hard, but I won the battle first try, on the 2nd attempt. Celadon City opened up the final gate that I needed to get through to make the run so much easier. I was able to get water in Celadon, which would open up Saffron City, which gave me access to the Psychic's house and the Psychic TM. With a gigantic stab move in tow, I went to Erica's gem. I didn't get Tangela in one hit because it's not part poison, but I still crushed it. The other two were nothing. Both part poison, instant death. Now with Psychic in my arsenal, Jesse and James were absolutely crushed. Giovanni didn't fare any better either. I'm getting flashbacks to the Mewtwo video where Psychic was just crushing anything and everything I went up against. Lassie's team in the Pokemon Tower had some new recruits, and his old ones had all evolved. But against Psychic, they literally stood no chance. I took no damage in the entire battle. Jesse and James's battle was still nothing, even with their Ekans and Coughing evolved. And just to spoil the future, their battle in Sylco wasn't any trouble either. Koga's team was the first battle in a good long while where I didn't have a level advantage. His 3 Venonat and Venomoth were part poison though. So, yeah. Even at a lower level, Abra's special stat just whomped through the battle. Venomoth got a leech life on me that did more than half of my HP, so had I not gotten it in 2 turns, I would have definitely been in trouble. Lassie's team in Sylco had a huge jump since Pokemon Tower, but I was still at a good level advantage. I wasn't able to just knock everything out in 1 turn though. At least half of his team took 2 hits to go down, and had I not lowered his Vaporeon special, it would have taken about 3 hits. I then got Simon the Lapras to keep in line with my biblical names for this Leviathan. Remember when I said Jesse and James were nothing? Yeah, still nothing. Sorry guys. Giovanni's battle, because of his 2 poison types and overall terribleness in terms of special defense, was a quick one. Over in a flash. I wasn't sure what to expect from Sabrina's team. I was now lower level than all of her team, but Body Slam, because of Abra and its line's poor physical defense, really mopped up. And they only had special moves to attack with, and Alakazam kept using moves that didn't do any damage. So I got an easy win out of this gym. And for the first time in a very long while, the battle with Blaine took 2 attempts. Even with my buffed up special, Psychic couldn't take out his team in 1 hit, and his Arcanine used Takedown. So my weak physical defense was my downfall here. The second attempt in the battle though resulted in me getting crushed by his Ninetales. His first Pokemon. Third try was the charm though. Ninetales went down without doing any damage. Rapidash hit me with Takedown, leaving me with 4 HP. I used Thunder Wave on Arcanine, hoping to freeze it, and it used Reflect for some reason. 2 Psychics took down Arcanine, and I got the Volcano badge. The final battle with Giovanni was still nothing to write home about. Persian and Rhydon were the only ones that didn't go down in 1 hit, but Persian missed its Screech, and Giovanni used a Guard Spec on Rhydon, giving me a window to take it down. Lassie's battle before the Elite Four was a little tough, all things considered. Sandslash got wasted, and I used Thunder Wave on Execute. This paralysis got me a good leg up on it, so it couldn't use Leech Seed or poison me. Ninetales hit Quick Attack, but didn't do too much damage. Kadabra kept recovering. This was annoying, but eventually it went down. Vaporeon hit me with a Hydro Pump, and even with my huge special stat, this did a lot more than tickle. I paralyzed it and beat Lassie in his last regular battle. At level 56, I was in no condition to take on the Elite Four. I tried battling Lorelei a few times, but it was way too much for Sean at this level. At level 60 was when I started considering actually going through the Elite Four, because it was when I beat Lorelei for the first time. In this battle, her Dugong took 2 Psychics, and hit me with Bubble Beam, doing a little bit of damage. Cloyster went down in 1 Psychic, and I paralyzed Slowbro. It used Withdraw, and then Surf. This did less damage than Bubble Beam, luckily, and out came Jinx. I went for Body Slam in hopes of paralyzing it, and it used Lucky Kiss, putting me to sleep. I immediately woke up though, but then it used Thrash, taking me down to 14 HP before I beat it. I paralyzed Lapras, but it didn't really do anything. It missed Blizzard twice, and a lucky crit beat her weak Leviathan. Let me just throw Bruno and Agatha in here in one section. Fighting in Ghost-type Elite Four. A really cool idea. Except all of Bruno's team, even non-fighting types, are super weak to special attacks. And Agatha's team? Yes, they're Ghost, but this is Gen 1, and everything is part poison. So these battles were incredibly easy. Lance was a little tougher though. Gyarados hit me with Hydro Pump. Dragonair was way bulkier than I expected. I went for Body Slam, and that left me with very low HP. Psychic took down the next Dragonair in one hit, so I should have just opted for that. And Aerodactyl survived one Psychic and Hyper Beamed me down. A few more unsuccessful attempts made me resort to the rare candies I had stored away. I used 3 of them to boost to level 65. Gyarados was still surviving one hit, but Dragonair was always going down in one hit. Aerodactyl survived one Psychic, but Lance used a Hyper Potion. It still didn't take it out when I used Psychic again, and it hit me with Swift, which did way more damage than I ever thought it would do. It went down, and out came Dragonite, and even though I tried to paralyze it, it didn't, and it Hyper Beamed me. The very next attempt saw Aerodactyl going down in one hit, and Dragonite used Fire Blast instead of Hyper Beam. This hurt. Badly. But I survived, and after Lance healing his Dragonite, it stayed paralyzed on one turn and went down. Then came the final battle with Lassie. Sandslash went down in one Psychic. I paralyzed Alakazam, but it used Psychic, dropping my special stat. Then it recovered when I went for Body Slam. Then it used Kinesis, lowering my accuracy. By the time Exeggutor came out, I wanted nothing to do with the battle anymore. And this is how Alakazam stayed for most of the run. I couldn't do heavy damage to Exeggutor either, and it couldn't do heavy damage to me. But it would always land Leech Seed and heal up, and anytime I made it past Exeggutor, the rest of the team would stall me out and I'd faint. I used the rest of my rare candies, got to level 68, and this gave me a nice boost, but it still wasn't enough to finish the job. And in the interest of not boring you with each and every attempt, I'm going to jump ahead. I jumped up to level 75. Sandslash was still a one-shot. Alakazam now only took 2 hits, and I lost some special from its Psychic. Exeggutor still just tanked everything I did. I paralyzed it and took it out with about 56 HP left. Ninetales missed Fire Spin, and 2 Psychics got it. Magneton took 1 critical hit Psychic, and Vaporeon landed a quick attack. With 6 HP left, I paralyzed Vaporeon. 1 Psychic, still not down, but it was paralyzed. 1 more Psychic, still not down, but Vaporeon went for Mist, a non-damaging move. That was amazing. 1 more Psychic, and Vaporeon went down. And yes, you can beat Pokemon Yellow with just an Abra. I even did something I never do. I let Abra evolve into Kadabra, just as a reward for the little guy. Now, do I think this was a really tough challenge? Not really. Only having Struggle as my damaging move at the beginning was miserable, and I couldn't just breeze through the Elite Four either. I had to strategically use Thunder Wave in a lot of the Elite Four, but I still made it through. Unlike the Weedle run, had I been level 100, this would have been an incredibly easy run to do. This Sunday is Easter, and I hope you like eggs, because that's what the next run will be. If you have any runs you'd like to see, make sure you drop them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any uploads. Until next time, see you later!